Natasha Mastel, the principal at River Heights School in Medicine Hat. We are a K-6 school and we teach through themes, so we teach thematic or integrated learning. And one of the programs that I wanted to talk about is the Explore, Create, Reflect program. This program is a 5-week program where we get together with students from kindergarten to grade 6, and we spend the first week exploring a topic. So it aligns with our school motto, Explore, Create, Reflect. The first week students get to explore a topic. The second and third week they get to create something. The fourth week they reflect on it, which is a big part of our school. And then the 5th week they get to do a showcase, which is where they get to share their learning with other students, as well as they get to see what other programs are out there. The reason this came about was that we know that students need choice in their learning. There's a program of studies that is Alberta-wide, but we wanted to make sure that students get a choice in what they learn as well and to find their area of passion. So we came up with the Explore, Create, Reflect program. This also provides teachers an opportunity to share with students their passion. An example would be we have some teachers who are very passionate about animals, so they're working with the SPCA this time. We have a trained yoga teacher at the school, so she's taught students yoga before. We have people who work well with clay, so now they're sharing their passion with students as well. So when teachers get to share their passion with students, it builds a new type of relationship with students as well. So the program is from kindergarten to grade 6. So each program will have 20 students about all different grade levels. So we have a lot of positive relationships being built within the student population as well. And then meeting with a teacher often is not their homeroom teacher, builds that other positive relationship in the school. And we know when we have those positive relationships between students as well as staff, we have less conflict within the school. So a real proactive approach. This also aligns with the 8 cross-curricular competencies in the ministerial order. So it's an opportunity for students to learn new knowledge, skills, and attitudes that they would use in real learning. So their critical thinking skills are developing, their problem-solving skills are developing, they're being creative and innovative, they're practicing communication and their collaboration, as well as taking care of their personal growth and well-being. This time, we've done this program for 3 years. We run a fall, winter session as well as a spring session. And this is the first time that we're branching out and building community connections as well. So one group, the Escape Room, they went and did their exploring at Mr. E's Solvatorium. So they took a trip and they learned about the different types of things that would be found in an escape room. And then for their creation, 2 weeks of Create, they're coming back and they're creating an escape room at the school. And then we have another group that is the SPCA, or the Kindness Group. What they've done is they research what animals in our community need, and then they are running some hot chocolate sales in our school to raise money. They'll go purchase these urgent supplies the animals need, then they will deliver them to the SPCA, and they'll bring it full circle. Another group that you'll see today is our journalism group. So they've learned the ins and outs behind the scenes of what journalism looks like and how to interview someone. And then they came on a field trip to Shaw TV. You'll see them their broadcast today where they'll be doing their interviews. So please sit back, enjoy the Education on the Go, which is one part of our Explore, Option, Create program this month.
Hi, my name is Katie and I'm a student at River Heights School. I'm in grade 3 and this is my friend Kate and she's in grade 4. We're interviewing the mayor. What is it like to be the mayor?
It is the absolute best job in the world and oftentimes one of the worst. You're probably aware that, I'll give you a couple examples. You're probably aware that we just closed a pool, Heald Pool, and also the Medicine Hat Arena. I've lived here my entire life, and that was one of the hardest decisions I've made in 9 years in politics, is to shut facilities down and then have to hear it really upset a lot of people. You're all now aware of Facebook and Twitter and how easily it is to access your politicians or access even celebrities or anybody else, and you can say anything you like on social media pretty much with impunity, and that can be really, really hard to deal with. But there's the great things, like being here today, getting to talk to one of my favorite things is actually when I go out to the schools and I talk to the students in the classrooms. As you're aware, once you get into grade 6, you'll have to study the levels of government. And I usually actually make it to almost all the schools, and that actually is one of my favorite parts of the job. So it's the best and the worst.
Didn't you say you went to our school?
I did go, that's right. I went to River Heights School for 6 years. I didn't go to kindergarten there. And it is, well, let's just say it. It's the best elementary school in the city. Why don't we just say that?
Yeah.
And so much so that I sent my 2 sons there as well. And my brothers and my sisters went there.
Why did you want to be mayor?
That's a tough one. I never did. I never wanted to be in politics. I went to school. I have a biology degree and an economics degree, undergraduate degrees. My family comes from a medical background, and I really believe that I would probably at one point in my life probably be a doctor or a dentist or something like that. So as when I was your age, I did not say I wanted to be in politics or be the mayor or be a councillor. But I do care very deeply about the city of Medicine Hat. And there came a time, and it was actually in 2007, when I thought that the city was going on the wrong direction. And that's up for debate. But the city was going this way, and I think that the city needed to go this way. And I felt that the only way I could affect change was to get involved and stop. Oftentimes we say in politics, stop complaining, start offering solutions to the problem, or get involved. If you think you can do it better, put your name on the ballot and get yourself elected. And so I eventually decided to try to get on council. And then after 6 years on council, I decided that perhaps it was time to take a run at the mayor's chair.
Thank you. What is your favorite part about being the mayor?
I perhaps skipped. This is what we call. I skipped ahead in the question a little bit, but as I mentioned, one of my favorite parts is actually this, and I'm not just making that up. Is talking to students. There's a lot of things that we do in the city. Opening new businesses is one of my favorite things. We call that ribbon cuttings, or we do sod turnings. I really enjoy when I see the city growing and people doing well. We've had a really exciting this term, the last 3 years, and opening up a ton of public infrastructure, our new Canalta Center, the leisure center, the police stations, and of course, but then as we talked about earlier, safety. Safety is actually our number one concern, and this council that we have right now had the courage to berm our city. And if you've ever seen the berms, you walk in Lions Park or down in Harlow, that's about safety first. So police, fire, and then of course our berms. So those are some of the things that I can look back on and fondly.
How many people help you make decisions for the city?
A lot. First of all, so there's the councillors, and there's 8 of them. You may know some of their names. So that's the mayor and the councillors. But what really happens is we have what we call the staff. And we have a lot of paid professionals. We have lawyers on staff. We have people with MBAs. We have financial planners. We have accountants. And what we do is what we call as a decision item. So nothing comes to council before the staff has vetted it out totally. So let's say something might be interesting. Let's say the Canalta Center. We had financial studies. Where are we going to put it? Land. And what happens is I always like to make a little bit of a joke because we spend a lot of time talking about an issue. And I always think staff will often give us what we call 3 decisions, or choice A, choice B, and choice C. And they'll say, choice A, we recommend, is the best choice to go forward. And I like to joke to sometimes when people think that we make bad decisions, I say, do you really think we sit behind closed doors and sit in the public and talk about this for 10 hours and ask them what's the worst possible decision, and that's the one we're going to do? No, we really do rely on our staff to give us their best opinion and recommendation. And then it comes to council, and then council has to think of the whole entire city, the whole holistic approach to what is really best for everybody in the city, and then they make the choice going forward. And it's almost always it's either a yes or a no. You vote for it on a motion, yes or no.
So how does the city council feel about global warming?
That is a loaded question. I'm going to sidestep it a little bit because everybody on council has a different opinion on global warming and on CO2. But what I will tell you is that your city, your municipality that you live in, is a leader in renewable energy. No other municipality in this entire country has invested, and when I say municipality, I don't mean provincial or federal, I mean municipality, has invested more per capita in renewable energy than the city you live in right now. We are a leader in this country. You're aware that our present provincial government wants to increase renewable energy. They are coming to us, our Hat Smart program that we created that allows you to put insulation in your roofs or solar panels on your roofs or insulation in your attic, efficient appliances and all those things that we've been incenting. And we've been doing this. This isn't new. We've been doing this since 2008. We've been at this for 8 years. We've won awards nationally for our leadership in renewable energy. But where we're different than from the province is that we don't vilify the oil and gas industry. Now I'm getting a little political on you, but we see oil and gas as coexisting or symbiotic. You must maintain your oil and gas industry, and you can diversify into renewable energy. The two don't have to be at odds with each other, and actually they can't be at odds because in order to have renewable energy is not reliable, and you must, I repeat, you must have backup. And that's called, in medicine, it's called gas-fired generation. If the sun doesn't shine or the wind doesn't blow, you must be able to instantly replace that lost electricity with your gas turbines, and that's what we have here in Medicine Hat. So we hopefully will become even more of a leader with the provincial initiatives to move into renewable energy. So the province is taking what they call their climate leadership plan, or global warming, and wants to invest in renewable energy, and we hope to capitalize on that here in Medicine Hat, both because of our history and because of the great sun resource we have here, sunniest city in Canada, 330 days a year, and we also have a great wind resource. So you refer to them as resources, actually, and so that's a long way around that question.
If you had another flood.
So if we had another flood, what would we do?
Yeah.
Hopefully nothing. And why is that? So I've always said by next spring we're going to finish one of the last legs of the berms around the city behind IXL and Medelta to the bottom of Schulten Hill. We just finished the Riverside berm. Our goal is that the next time, and it will happen again, that the river crests, that the berms will hold back the river and protect the low-lying areas of this city. And berms have been talked about in this city for 100 years, to tell you the truth. But as I mentioned earlier, this council had the courage to actually do it. And we went ahead without the province, and now have since been reimbursed mostly by the province for our berm construction. But I've always said that I want to stand on the berm, on one of the paths, and watch the river go by the next time we have a flood.
Okay. How would you protect the city hall if the berms were not enough?
So City Hall actually doesn't have a berm in front of it. We're going to berm in front of the City Hall on River Road there, but we've decided we will allow the road to flood because it's okay, it can be cleaned up. But what we have done is we've installed doors. If you come down to City Hall and to the law courts, you'll see that in the side of the brick there's lines cut in the brick, and then there's a steel, and also in the ground. So what will happen if there's a flood, there's a door that we can put in, a steel door that we can drop in and protect the City Hall. So now, of course, that protection only goes so far. It would protect us easily from any event we've ever had, event meaning flood event, that we've ever had in recorded history in this city. But were there some sort of catastrophic event where it was what we call the 1 in 100, the 1 in 200, if we had the 1 in 10,000 event, the berms would not protect the city from that, or City Hall from that.
What's the biggest change you want to make?
So I already, I had some goals at the beginning of when I became, well, first of all, when I was elected in council, then as when I was elected mayor. So, my goals were to, in some ways, bring the city kicking and screaming into the present age. So we started investing in renewable energy, converting our streetlights to LED. I also want to make sure we maintain our heritage, though, in the oil and gas industry, because that's what's paid for everything in our city. Everything that we have was paid for by the oil and gas industry that the city owns. So I want to maintain our independently owned utilities. I also, want to make sure we are still on a strong financially stable. There's been a lot of criticism that we spent a lot of money with the new Canalta Centre and the Leisure Centre, but what I can assure you is that the city didn't borrow to do any of those. Every other municipality in this country pretty much would have had to borrow to build all that. We paid cash for those, and so we haven't gone into debt, and I hope to continue that, keep this city on a strong financial footing. And really, the only thing you can really hope for, there's an old saying, let no one say and say to your shame, all was beauty here before you came. So really my goal is to leave the city better than I found it.
What are some of the city's best programs for kids?
So, I don't like when people say there's nothing to do in Medicine Hat, because that's not true. There is lots to do. We have, and we just were talking about it even on last Monday night at council, I call them the P's, the pools, parks, paths, playgrounds. We have, in this city, you have more sheets of ice per capita than any other city in Alberta. You have more pools, you have more pathway than any city in Alberta. And so there's I like all the recreational things that you do so you can stay healthy, but the other thing is what part of that is there's access. You can get in. You don't have to take your hockey at 4 o'clock in the morning or your swimming lessons at 2 a.m. You can take them during regular hours because we have a lot of facilities. And as also, though, is we're safe. You live in a very safe community. Other cities our size, even in Alberta, are undergoing crime waves, and in some cities it's not safe to walk around at night. So all of that contributes to the quality of life and for things that you can do. So there's lots of programs, and there's the Esplanade, and there's the Cultural Centre. And really, if anybody says there isn't anything to do, they're not trying, because you can really have access to culture, to sports, to recreation, if you want to. Now, of course, sometimes it's hard to afford some of those things, but there are groups. There's cities, Kinsman Club sponsors free skating, free swimming. There's kids sport. There's groups that will help you if you're having trouble financially.
What are some of the things you feel make life better for kids in our city?
So I kind of already answered that one a little bit, but the recreational facilities, the safe. I mean, you can have all the best recreational facilities in the world, but if you're too scared to go to them, or there's crime or that kind of thing. So there's as I mentioned in that previous question, there's many things that you can do.
Thank you for inspiring kids like us.
Oh, okay. That's not a question. So it's my pleasure. This is, as I said, this is one of my favorite things to do, and the two of you did very, very well.
Hi, I'm Madeline Gale, and today I'm going to be doing a weather report. Cold weather has hit Medicine Hat for the whole week. It is also going to be very cloudy this week. Temperatures are 20 degrees Celsius. Warning, stay inside all day. It is very cold out right now. Students, please prepare for inside recess and DPA because it's way too cold. Just warm for the weather and make sure your pets are warm too. Breaking news, it is snowing in Hawaii. In the mountaintops of Hawaii, almost 1 meter of snow has fallen. Hi, my name is Sarah, and my partner Hallie is here. We're going to be talking about earthquakes that happened in the past and in the present.
Speaking of life, in River Heights, Miss Rement's class is doing Life is a Treasure. What happens is a student's name gets pulled out of a bucket, and they read a note, and another student's name gets pulled and they get to open the treasure.
Okay, first I will be talking about the 6.2 magnitude earthquake that happened in Mexico Mexico on April 18th, 2014. Near the western coast of Mexico at this time, my family and we were on holidays in Nuevo Vallarta. We were 15 hours away and we could still feel the aftershock. And I felt the building moving slowly, and I heard seashell chandelier making clanging sounds as it moved. It was a very scary feeling because it was unexpected. Another earthquake is the 2016 Kaikoura earthquake. Its magnitude was 7.8 earthquake in the South Island of New Zealand that occurred 2 minutes after midnight, November 14th, 2016. 2 minutes after midnight, November 14th, a terrible tsunami happened after the several earthquakes occurred. Earthquakes can be small or big in magnitude. It's a natural disaster that destroys property and the loss of human life. The end. Thank you for watching. Hallie and Sarah. Bye.
This is Jackson Hunt and Carson Presber reporting from River Heights School. Now for today's news. The Buddy Bench has arrived at River Heights School. Students can use it if they're feeling like no one will play with them, and they can sit there and wait for a friend. It has been helpful.
In other news, Winter Village is coming up. At Winter Village, you can get snacks and refreshments and participate in fun activities in the classrooms. For example, mini sticks, photo booth, and some crafts. Winter Village is a time to hang out with friends and family. It is at River Heights School and everybody is welcome.
Thanks for watching.
Riley and Eva script for Shaw TV. Hi, I'm Riley and I will be talking about seals. Hello, I'm Eva and I will be talking about orcas. Did you know seals are lighter than a piano? Seals weigh 400 laps, pianos weigh 500 laps. Cars are faster than a seal. Seals 20 miles per hour, cars 6 miles per hour. They are shorter than a school bus. Buses 6.25 feet and seals are 37 feet. Orcas are in the dolphin family. Orcas hunt whales and sharks. Orcas exhaust prey before eating them. They large black and white body. Orcas intentionally strand themselves on land to eat the seals. Orcas have round heads, tall fins, orcas spy hop. Each orca group has a unique call. Orca groups are called a pod. Top predators of the world's oceans. Orcas have been around for more than 11 million years. Thank you for watching. There are 3 species of zebra: plain zebra, Grevy's zebra, and the mountain zebra. They live in a variety of habitats: grasslands, scrublands, and woodlands. Their stripes are different patterns. They could be for camouflage or to help them recognize each other. The average time to live for a zebra is 25 years.
Chicago Blackhawks goalie is Corey Crawford, and he is currently hurt and not playing. They got a new backup goalie who is a college goalie. His name is Eric Zamborski. The goal leader for Chicago is Marian Hossa with 14 goals. Patrick Kane leads with 18 assists. The leader in points is Patrick Kane with 26. Chicago Blackhawks are in second place, but the Montreal Canadiens are in first with 38 points. They lost against the Jets on December 4th. They beat the Arizona Coyotes on Tuesday, December 6th. And did you know the Chicago Blackhawks are part of the original six?
NHL hockey collector cards for 2016-2017 are now in stores. Most collectible cards may include Edmonton Oilers, Connor McDavid, leading the league in points and assists. Another player to watch is rookie Austin Matthews, who plays for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
I hope you enjoyed the Education on the Go program that was put on by the River Heights students in the Explore, Create, Reflect journalism option. As you can see, they are very enthusiastic about their learning and the presentations that they did. One example is Kate, who was one of the students who interviewed the mayor, said that she wants to be a journalist when she gets older. So it shows the passion and learning that takes place in this program. Another example of the depth of learning of having the 5-week program is the roller coasters. For their Explore session, they explored the learning, what goes into building a roller coaster. And then when they created the roller coaster out of straws, you can see in the videos how they modified their plan and they tweaked it after they tested it, and the amount of learning and collaboration that went into their final product of the roller coasters that were successful. I just wanted to thank the staff at River Heights School. They go above and beyond to share their passion with our students and to share the joy of learning with our students by providing this opportunity. So thank you to all the amazing teachers and support staff at River Heights School.